Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back into what may be the final episode of the series. If not the final one, then probably the penultimate one at least. I was seeing a lot of messages that we are waiting for green circuits, so I decided to add a second green circuit production facility, which I'm in the process of building up right now. I'm just missing, looks like mainly I'm missing blue belts. Probably missing some modules as well. So we'll get that finished up. We can see that the last bit of research waiting to be done is nearly complete. Hopefully I'll have enough belts to get this complete finally. And then, of course, we'll see what the next bottleneck turns out to be. Every factory has a bottleneck. There has to be some process that's slower than the others. So it's up to us as base designers to choose what process is going to be the bottleneck. And when I design a base, I like my bottleneck process to be the one at the very end, which in this case would be the labs or the rocket launchers, for example. So I tend to overbuild a little bit all of the stuff that feeds it. Okay, awesome. So we've got, this appears to be fully functional now. Oh, okay. No, we're missing some inserters. So let's go see what we need to do to get another stack or two of stack inserters. Probably we are short on gears, I would imagine. Where are those getting made? Right here. Yeah, I think they're just not getting enough gears. I've got 39. I think we're missing 40 something. All right, so let's, I'll just stand here and collect some gears. There you go, buddy. Okay. Yeah, and that's because I used up a ton of blue belts just now, and they're eating up all the gears before they can get to the stack inserters. Okay. Yep, that should do it. Awesome. Oh. Okay, good. I'm glad I got those two. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to put these anywhere. Okay. So let's go see how we're doing. Okay, we're still launching rockets. Here's another 11,000 space science packs, which I will take over here and deliver personally. So that's quite likely what we're waiting for. Oh, okay. No, looks like we already had some. All right. Here, let's... I'll save the robots some trouble, and I'll do that myself. Okay, taking a look at power. We're at 4.1 gigawatts now. And we're almost out. So before we did much else, or before we do much else, you know, if we're going to expand further, we need to add more power, which I just expanded a couple episodes ago. We're running what is it, 28 reactors now, I think. Yeah, 28 reactors running nonstop. We've got plenty of fuel. Yeah, tons, 30,000 fuel cells between plutonium and uranium, so no problem keeping them supplied. The research is nearly finished. And as soon as that research gets done, oh yeah, look, the space science has all but been consumed already. Once that research is done, then I'll just switch over to mining productivity, because it's always good to boost that, especially when you're trying to keep the base running and you're consuming tons and tons of resources. All right, so this will, once this goes up to 2,000, I'll take these science packs over there as well, just so we can get across the finish line here. I want to make sure I haven't picked up any of those bots by mistake. Okay, there we go. Take these back up there. I'm not sure how many we still need, but it's probably not going to be much more than 2,000. All right, so we're waiting for that to finish. Let's take a look at things. Take a look at traffic. Traffic looks really good. So here's a base that's doing close to 1,000 science packs a minute, or close to 1,000 science a minute, and 2,000 red and green science, right? Because we're consuming 2 of those science packs. So, so we got a pretty high level of production going on here. Okay, yeah, see, now we're starting to run out of ore. We're starting to run out of a lot of things. We're really stressing the system here, but the traffic looks surprisingly good. So I think the grid system was a good idea. It helps keep things organized. I think if doing this again, I think I would do single-headed trains next time. Because the double-headed trains, I didn't really build this in a way that takes advantage of the double-headed trains. And having the grid system really favors trains coming in and leaving in the same direction all the time. So I think it would have been better to do double-headed trains. Let me grab the science packs here in case we need them, but it's just about ready to finish. There we go. Okay, and there's another 1,000 here already. Yeah, so we're launching rockets at a pretty good rate. We measured it an episode ago, and it was a little... All right, awesome. We got it, guys. Okay, so let's do some mining productivity for a while, and let's go get the next rocket part that we need. So I'm going to need modules. I need 500 of each. I don't want to make any more efficiency modules. Okay, so we have to make the faster than light propulsion system. So we need some blue circuits and we need some low density structures. We can get blue circuits from here. Oh yeah, we're out of power already. How many was that? 500? Okay. And we'll get the low density structures from down here. Yeah, I need more power. And we need 100 of these. Okay. Yeah, that went pretty fast. Faster than light drive. Bam. Let's do it. That'll take a little while to craft, and then that'll be the next thing that gets launched. So I'm going to stop requesting satellites because I don't want to launch a satellite. I want to launch this drive. And it looks like we'll have to wait for the next rocket to do that. What are we missing here? Yeah, we're out of blue circuits. So the next rocket might take a while to build if we don't have any blue circuits. What are all these errors? Oh, no train. Okay. Yeah, seems like we're running low on long trains. So that would be something to do next. Add more 282 trains to the network because they're not delivering ore fast enough. 26. Let's keep it going. Of course, if I stop doing research, okay, yeah, we're doing okay on power now. Oh, it's ready. Okay, here we go. This is where we win at SpaceX. Let's turn this off. Right, that was the last thing we needed to launch the faster than light drive. And let's see the victory message. Interstellar spaceship launched. Congratulations. After multiple months and multiple launches, you have finally completed your final goal, building the rocket that will get you off of this rock. Because clearly no one else was coming to rescue you. You didn't crash the ship in the first place, right? That was Bob, your trusty construction robot. He was the one flying the last ship. Him and his trusty AI that you programmed. Okay, so there's a little jab at us. It was his fault. Well, he didn't make it through the first crash, so now it is completely up to you. You were paying attention during your training of how to fly a large tin can, right? Good luck, engineer. Decision time. Launch another interstellar rocket or end the game. Oh, okay. So it's asking me if I want to do all of this again. No, I don't want to do that again. But let's see. Reset all the SpaceX production components to 0 so that you can start over. Game completion screen. Okay, go ahead. We'll reset it. I'm not going to do this again. All right, but we'll reset it and we'll keep the rest of our research going. All right, so we put this back. We tell this to request a satellite like it was doing before, one at a time. But we're going to have to wait for more blue circuits. And what are blue circuits waiting for? I think I just don't have enough blue circuit production capacity. Yeah, there's no trains. I need more trains. That would be the next step. So next steps would be more trains, more power, possibly more smelting. Although I do the trains first because when you have enough trains, then that'll keep the smelting going, and then that might no longer be the bottleneck. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so more trains would be good, but in any case, let's talk about how this went. Traffic was an issue a few times, but it hasn't been a big problem like it was in some previous series that I've done. And that surprises me. I mean, the grid system obviously is good at preventing traffic jams because your production is spread out over a large area. The trains have many paths that they can take to get to where they're going. So it seems to really help to distribute the traffic over lots of different paths, which prevents it from clumping up in any particular area, which is the problem I had in previous series. You know, I would have like 1 or 2 junctions right off of a main line, and I would have lots of traffic jams in that area, which anybody could have predicted would happen. All right, let's see. Do I have room for more? No, that's full. I think all my depots are full, so if I'm going to add more 282 trains, I need to expand this one. The other smart idea would have been to have the trains enter on this side and exit on this side so that they don't have to cross each other. Yeah, so I think it would be a good idea to make another depot like this one, but on the other side of the track, so that I can enter and exit one way without the entrance and the exit crossing each other. A couple of my builds were not optimal the first time, and like I said recently, I think that's the other key takeaway here is, don't take shortcuts. If you know that, for example, if you know that you're going to need to launch 1 rocket a minute, then when you build your rocket base, just build it for 1 rocket a minute at the very beginning. And don't do it halfway so that you can get some other stuff going and then come back and finish it later, because it ultimately just creates more work. If I had done it right the first time, I could have avoided all this spaghetti of belts here. But overall, I would have to say that I'm pretty pleased with the base. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to save this game. I'm going to take some time off. I have a trip planned. I'm going to Europe for the first time in my life over the week of Thanksgiving here in the U.S. Going to visit London and Paris, so I'm looking forward to that. I've always wanted to visit there and experience the culture, see some of the history. I'm really fascinated with the fact that you have these cities that are, that have been inhabited by human beings for, probably more than 1,000 years. I don't know a lot about the history yet, but I know that they've been around for a very long time, and I'm really interested to see that. I'm really interested in eating a lot of good food. So that'll be one of my main focuses as I learn things. I want to, when I'm in the UK, I want to have good beer and good pub food. I love that stuff, fish and chips and things like that. I could eat that stuff every day. I really like that sort of thing. I want to get some good Indian food when I'm in London, because I understand that's a good place to get it. Probably one of the best places in the world outside of India to get good Indian food, which I also like quite a bit. And then in France, of course, French food doesn't need any explanation. Everybody knows why it's good, and it's because it has lots of butter and cream. And if you can't make it something good with a lot of butter and cream, then you really should not be anywhere near a kitchen. So I'm looking forward to that too. And in France, I'll probably be looking for some good wine, whereas in London, I'm going to be looking for some good beer and maybe some gin, whiskey, that sort of thing. So anyway, I'm rambling now. So after my vacation, I will make a decision here as to whether I finish or whether I start a new series in Factorio, or whether I continue working on this base. Let me know what you think I should do, what you would like to see. I will take your opinions into account, but at the end, I'm going to be making the decision based on what is going to motivate me the most. Because if I don't have the motivation from within, then the series, my channel won't continue either way. I'm really thrilled with how fast this mining productivity is going. Once the mining productivity costs 4,000, then I'll do another level of robot speed and then get back to mining. But this is pretty fantastic. I'm actually surprised that I still have science packs here. Yeah, I think I'm going to run out of space science pretty soon because there don't seem to be any blue circuits coming anytime in the near future. We'll get a delivery here in a moment. Let's see if it's going to go to the rocket base or not. Who's next in line for blue circuits? Modules. Really? I don't really need the modules. I've already got... Why is it going to modules? I've already got 20,000 blue circuits over there. All right. We're going to... I'm just going to go pick up some modules and take them over there myself. Yeah, so as I was saying, I'll make a decision as to what to do next. During my trip, well, let me rephrase that. During my trip, Farming Simulator 19 is going to be released. And next to Factorio, Farming Simulator is another one of my favorite games. And I've never done a series on Farm Sim. So that's something else that I'm probably going to do. And I will tell you guys that Farm Sim is quite likely going to garner me a lot more views than Factorio does. You might not think that it's possible, but Farm Sim has a huge audience. Huge. Like there are some Farm Sim guys that have videos with over 1 million views, right? So I think that could be a good way to grow my channel a bit, and I'm not trying to be huge. I don't want to do this for a full-time job. In fact, for me to do that, I would really need to have hundreds of thousands of subscribers before I would even consider doing something like that. Probably closer to 1 million. But having a bigger audience would be nice, and doing a series with Farming Simulator would be fun, I think. And some of you that have never played that game before might find it interesting. And there's probably a lot of Farm Sim people that would find Factorio interesting. So I think it would be I think there's a lot of overlap in interests between the Farm Sim crowd and the Factorio crowd. I know there are a lot of you that play Farm Sim, and I know that there's a lot of Farm Sim people that play Factorio. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I know that I can't keep two series. I can't do 2 series with an episode every day. So I just don't have enough time for that. So I need to think about how I'm going to do that. So maybe I'll just do a Farm Sim series and just focus on that, and then come back to Factorio later. Or maybe I can do something where I do a few episodes of each every week, but that idea doesn't appeal to me because I'm kind of an obsessive guy, I guess. Like, I like to just focus on one thing. It wouldn't please me a lot to switch back and forth between games like that. Usually the way, even when I'm not doing YouTube videos, usually I've got one game that I enjoy and I just play that whenever I have time to play a game. And then eventually I get a little bit bored of it, and then I start playing a new game, and I play that game every day when I have time to play a game until I get bored of that, and then I choose something else. That's just kind of the way that my brain is wired. So I know that switching back and forth between two different games to make YouTube videos is probably not something that I would be able to keep up for very long before I got tired of it. So like I said, I need to keep the motivation going so that I can consistently publish new content. So in any case, thank you all for watching this series up to this point. Whether this continues or not remains to be seen, but you'll hear from me again in a couple of weeks. I really appreciate all the comments. Most of them are extremely positive. In fact, I have never gotten really a negative comment. Some people do give me negative feedback, but it's always done in a constructive manner. And so for that, I'm really grateful to all of you for being a great audience. I'm really pleased with the feedback that I get, and most of it is very encouraging. So thanks again. We'll see you again in a couple weeks. Until then, enjoy yourselves, stay safe, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.